Welcome to the Schenectady Aviation Museum. We have a mini Concorde right there, and then a plethora of aircraft to check out. Let's go. So the Concorde has actually landed here, that's why there's one outside. So this is a T-33 engine, or the J-33 jet engine, which is sick. We got the X3 over here engine, and a P-47 engine. Okay. Turbo supercharger. It's both. Gas turbine. Our first plane of the day, which is, it's actually a glider. And then a ton of propellers. And then another plane. And then we got the Electra, Lockheed 10 Electra. Which looks pretty cool. We can look inside. Look at that. And the Electra. Now we have a Newport 17C1. And then up here, we have another plane. I don't remember what this is, but that's pretty cool. We have another plane up here. Got a bit of models. It's cool. Okay, what is this, bro? Cockpit of a C-130? Look at that. A little penguin. We cannot go in it. But this is the cockpit of an LC-130. So there's this cool. And then above us is a Curtiss JN4 Jenny. Half scale. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now let's head into the cockpit of the C-130. We got a C-130 seat. We got a little flight simulator thing. Going out. Look at, we can see it going. And there it goes. And it's flying around now. Right in front of us. That is awesome. Alright, we're gonna land. I'm gonna try and butter it. Here comes the landing. Here comes the touchdown. Butter. Oh, a little bit. Oh, big bounce. Touching down in the water. We're back in the air. How much are we gonna push? We're coming down. That was amazing. I just flew a C-130. So now we can hop in this thing, which is... This is quite sketchy if you think about it. We could see the control surfaces moving. And then if we pull the steering wheel... Okay, so we're in the main hangar. And immediately you look to your left, and we have an old red Aeros jet. This is the Gnat, the Fulland Gnat, which I actually knew what this was. This is wild. A red Aeros plane. And look at, I'm not too much shorter than the top of this thing. That is wild. And then we have this experimental aircraft. Yes, this one was actually operated by the Red Aeros. What? So, Red Aeros jet right here. So far, we haven't even gone through everything. This is one of the... You haven't even seen behind us. It's wild. Okay, so we got this little aircraft. Let's go into here. It's pretty cool looking. We got a jet engine out of a Rolls Royce, which we can also spin this wheel, and it spins the turbofans.
You want a faraway shot?
Look at that. But then right next to it, we have a Harrier. If you can't tell, guys, oh my gosh. If you can't tell, guys, I'm kind of crashing out right now. So yeah, Harrier, what can I say? And then we have some tires. Okay, this is a 747 nose wheel. Why? I don't know. And then F100 Super Saber wheel. I can't speak. Let's go under the wing. Now we're at the back of a Harrier. This is wild. This is my second time ever seeing a Harrier, and this is my first time ever like walking fully around it. Because the first one was at the Intrepid, which was a long time ago that I saw that. But look at that. Control surfaces. I'm literally touching a flap of a Harrier. And then that's where the VTOL comes down, and you can see that up there. So I believe right now it's in like a half VTOL mode. This is wild. And then there's also some gliders up there, and I can't even wait. They have this little plane open, and yes, you see that correctly in the background, guys. You didn't see that. We'll get there later. Got a little jet engine. We got this little Mooney M18 Mite. Pretty interesting, cool aircraft. They have a Cub. They have a ton of different planes. Let's just cut straight to it. The F-14 Tomcats. I can't. Bro, what? There's birds everywhere. Bro, what the heck? Bro, the actual jet engine's still in there. Oh, wait, no. No, it's not. The one in the Smithsonian still has the actual jet engine, but interesting. This is the closest I've ever gotten to an F-14 for sure. Bro, I'm literally under an F-14. This is literally Hagerstown Aviation Museum, essentially, but just more peak. Grumman F-14 Tomcat. And then a Northrop F-5 Tiger. But it is the one from the movie, the MiG-28. Here it is. So this is technically a MiG-28. It is also an F-5 Tiger. So very, very interesting. And we're not going to talk about that there for a second, but we got a Rutan Easy. Very interesting. Actually, this is one of the most unique aircraft. It's a pusher prop. Has these long front canards. F-15 Eagle. This might even be a Sea Eagle, which is wild. Look at the freaking engines on this F-15 Eagle. What in the world? Look at the American flag on it. I believe this is actually an F-15C. Oh, that is sick. That is sick. 104 to 0, because that's the kill ratio currently of the F-15 Eagle. That is awesome. But look at the nozzles. We finally get to see the nozzles up and close. What in the world, bro? Okay, so now we're under the F-15 Eagle. Right here, this is the tail hook. And then this is the engine, which I I could do a thing because my camera's great. And we can look inside. Bro. This thing is tall. What in the world? What? Okay, so we got a Supermarine Scimitar. So this is a Royal Navy sea-based fighter. Look at this, we get to go in a Little Bird. Bro, I get to go in a Little Bird? Here we go. I'm in the Little Bird. We got the collective right here. The rudder pedals. And then, look at this. So, this is the F4 Phantom. This is the first time I've ever been behind an F4 Phantom. Lots of firsts here. But look at the nozzles! My first time seeing a nozzle on an F4. F4 tail hook on the F4. The crazy angle of the elevators, and then the crazy angle here. Look at that, the HC on the tail. Let's go through here. There's a Huey. What? The F-15 Eagle. Over here we have a Huey from Vietnam as well, which we can... I think you can get up here. Yeah. Okay, so we'll head up into a Huey. I'm gonna get in the pilot seat of...
Pilot's on this side, right?
Very, very interesting. Ow! I've never gotten in a Huey from back there. There that was. Now I'm in the Huey. We got the collective. We got the engine is open on the Huey. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's go up the stairs to the F-15 cockpit. Look down at that. The F-15. Bro. Bro. The Eagle. So now we are in the F4 Phantom cockpit. Very awesome. We can flip literally every switch. Literally anything. Bleed air, off, the rain rim. Literally anything. Normal power. Boom. Super, super cool. Oh, there's our master switch. Okay, so we're getting onto something to turn it on, but I'm not going to turn it on. Bullpup control. The friction increaser. Pull for emergency, so... And then you launch out of the canopy, so... Here we go. That's what it feels like to eject. And then guns, you can get them ready and awesome. So we're in the F4 Phantom. Now we're going to hop out of the F4. So you can like kind of stand, get on the seat. That was literally nothing. Welcome to the C-130 cockpit. I don't even know.
Can you get the Concorde?
Look at this.
Oh, okay. Well,
And here we have the Grumman S2 tracker. And yes, it is raining, so don't mind that. That's sick. That is awesome. So this C-130 here is the one that they put and strapped JTOWs to and tried to like stop the jet or the C-130 quicker. And if we look over here, way over here. Alright, so there's all the LC-130s. There's another C-130 somewhere right there. And then there's this C-130. Kinda cool. Look at the darker.
you're touching the wing.
So this is the USAF Dover Air National Guard C-130. And now my hand is wet. And then we have the RA-5 Vigilante here. We're under the wing of it. Let's go out to the front. Oh, here's the 707 engine. And there's that C-130. There's the nose. There's the C-130 we were just in the cockpit of. And look at that. Vigilante. F-102 Delta Dart. That's pretty cool. I'm walking right in a puddle right now. Look at this. And then we got a F-105 Thunder Chief. MiG-21. Look at that. There's the Thunder Chief. The MiG-29, or MiG-21. Holy cow. The MiG-17. Wow. And then here we have a MiG-15. Pretty cool. Ooh! Oh my! Alright, let's go up the stairs to this MiG-15. Holy cow, I'm taller than a MiG-15 right now. Alright, this is actually wild. You can look inside. The A-10. Look at that. The camo A-10. This is my first camo A-10, actually, that I've seen before. And then over here we have a rare Douglas F-3D Sky Knight. That's pretty cool. And a T-2 Buccaneer. Right over here. That is so interesting. And then we have the T-2 Buccaneer. Or T-2 Buckeye, sorry. As you can see, T-2 Buckeye.
With a bird on the tail.
With a bird on the tail, yeah, there it is. And then we have the F-101 Voodoo. The F-8 Crusader, this is the A-7 Corsair. And then we could see the front of the C-130 here. And then over here we have the E-6B Prowler. Oh, sorry, this is not an E-6B, as you can tell by the little, there's no bulb on the tail. So this is just the A-6 Intruder. Look at that. So here's the cockpit of the A-6 Intruder. Wow. The A for Skyhawk, which this is my first A4. The one at Martin State is the TA4. This is just a straight A4 with one cockpit, and then this is the F-84 Thunderstreak. So, F-84 Thunderstreak, and that rounds off the entire thing. Wow. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Oh yeah, there is a tank here as well. Look at this wildness.
You can see the skis.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the skis and the J-toes. Look.
There's 2 regular ones down there. Tail.
What? One of the rounded nose C-130s is here. And now we're at the front of the airbase. We have this C-130 here with 3 blades. Very odd. The U.S. Air Force. You can also see the skis down there. That is pretty cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And that was me going through this air museum. Pretty awesome. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.